What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is doing lovely and feeling fantastic. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that is, I find, absolutely riveting, which is data extraction. And having a plan for that is extremely important because, if you don't know how you're going to get your data, you're not going to have much data to analyze. You might make mistakes in your data. You might be missing data at the end of your experiment or the thing that you're trying to learn from. So having a data extraction plan is super, super important in your business. And anytime you're doing any sort of experiments or optimizing or really doing anything. So today I want to share 3 steps to creating your data extraction plan, okay? And they're pretty straightforward, they're pretty simple, so you can memorize them and, go on applying them in different areas of your business. So the first is you need to know what your key performance indicators are. So what is the information that you need in order to understand how are you doing? And really knowing the metrics that are important to you will make it so much easier for you to pull data that's relevant, and B, not get distracted by all of vanity metrics or superficial metrics that don't actually matter to your objective or what you're trying to learn. And really, when you're looking at the key performance indicators that you need to be tracking, you want to know, well, which ones are quantitative and which ones are qualitative, because they're going to have different strategies for how you're going to gather that information. The other thing you really want to make sure you're clear on is what are the information channels that you're going to be actually tapping into. So where are you actually gathering information from? What are the different channels and sources of the quantitative and qualitative data? So you might say, well, I'll look at my Google Analytics. Okay, great. But what about heat maps? What about user session recordings? What about surveys? What about doing competitor research? That's another information channel. There's a ton of different channels outside of your Google Analytics that can be really, really powerful. And you want to know what these channels are and what's available to you in order to, tap into the ones that are relevant for the project or the thing that you're trying to accomplish in your business. And then finally, you need to be really, really, really clear on what are the learning objectives for this data, right? So this is really the foundation, and it's third, but definitely not least, and that's really knowing why are you capturing this data in the first place, what are you trying to learn, and how are you going to use it once you have it, right? So it's great to have information, it's great to gather data, but also data is not just meant for reporting, it's meant to take action with, right? So understanding how are you going to gather your data, what are you trying to gather, what are you trying to learn from it, and then also how are you going to use this data in your decision making. And that is, again, the foundation to a solid data extraction plan, because everything is based on your learnings and your actions. So hopefully this is helpful. This is a topic, again, it's really, really in-depth, but we're just covering it like bits and pieces here, and I'm talking about it whenever I get inspired by something. And hopefully you find it useful, and if you have any questions, as always, don't hesitate to reach out and ask. Talk to you soon.